In the beginning, and not like the world, but in the beginning of this video, we talked about how important it is to run a power and ground in this. This is aluminum. Run a power and ground. We like to use the Stinger marine wire because it is like a giant speaker wire, and it has a 4 gauge. They make it in an 8 gauge also. Red is constant 12 volts, yellow is ground. Drove you nuts for a while.
That's it. Still, why? Because
it's marine wire. This is a fairly thick piece of wire, and getting it through the firewall on this can be a little challenging. There just so happens to be a place to drill a big hole above the factory grommet. Now, if you're one of those guys that just wants to go through the factory grommet, yes, you can. There is a cutoff piece that is kind of located right there that you can cut off and fit a power wire through. However, we found it's easier just to drill our own hole. As you can see when we go underneath, there's plenty of room to do it. You just want to stay on this side. Over here, no. Over here, yes. It's kind of in line with the main power harness. Then of course put your grommet in place, and that will allow us to get that dual power and ground 4 gauge through there. And then when we're done, we'll insulate it with some 3M strip caulk. We'll show you that once we get to the fuse holder. The nice thing is in this particular installation, we can, unlike most of our installations where we mount everything on the amp rack and we all run it forward, this one, because we're going to be going with a power distribution block, Fernando can go ahead and run the wire through the car and get it back for me to attach to the distribution block. He's already done up the ends to go into our T-spec distribution block. That is an offset.
If you're gonna do your installation, just remember this is a 22 feet power and ground, just in case you want to buy some power and ground wire.
And that power wire will take us, you're thinking 22 feet, I can go over in the middle of the vehicle. It's gonna bring us right into this area right here, because it has to go down, around, over, up, through the river, across the engine compartment, and then over to the battery way over there. Anytime you're putting a multi-channel amplifier into the car, you need to be able to integrate into the car. We don't want to cut that factory harness. We want to plug right in and keep our lives nice and simple, make it easy to service, make it easy to go back to factory if need be. For that, we're going to use the LPH FD31 harness from PAC. Inside of this comes with an instruction manual and the main T harness. This is designed to plug into the back of the radio, and the back of the radio is designed to plug into here. This is the same one that you use in the Ford Bronco. If you've watched that video, they have these nice convenient plugs that you can undo. For this, since we're just doing a front stage upgrade, only ones we're gonna have to undo is the white and the gray, and it comes with these ends so we could attach it to here. It also comes with a power plug, and when you look at these, just because this has black, red, and yellow, don't assume that there's a black, red, and yellow here. In this case, there's just a black and a yellow, so this just has ground and constant 12 volts. There's no accessory on this, which is okay because the amplifier is going to use the DC offset to turn on. There's also this harness. This is the Y harness. If you were just going to add subwoofer, this allows you to clip into both of these, and then you have a left and a right that can go back to the sub amp you're installing and keep all of the speakers working. And then of course it comes with the set for the rear. There's also one more part of this that is really nice. I suggest picking up too, which is the LPH EXT17. This is a 17-foot extension. Think of this just 17 feet long, and it has both ends. So it has both the male and female, because sometimes you have to run the signal back and then come back forward to attach the speakers, which we do in this case. This kit comes with both front and rear to allow you to do that. It doesn't have anything for this. This you still have to just attach your own wires to. This just streamlines the installation and makes it a little bit easier, especially now in these cars where, as big a fan of speed wire as I am, that extra sheathing that makes it a 4 gauge, there's not a lot of room with all the wiring that goes down the side of these cars to fit that along with a dual 4 gauge. We find this and some braided loom or some JK tape, you get a much easier install, much cleaner. And in this case, we need 6 runs. We need from the radio signal back into the amplifier, and then the mid bass and tweeter coming up front, and that's it. Which Speedwire, they don't have that. Let's hop into the vehicle and I'll show you how to get the radio out so we can plug this in. The tools we're gonna need to get this dash apart: right angle with a short bit, a long bit, and a pry tool. These are both 7mm, and something to spin the bit. First step is removing this little rubber mat. Pry tool makes it easy. In the back here are 2 7mm screws. This whole piece needs to come out. There's a little tiny lip that comes underneath this area here. Zoom You just gotta get in here with your fingers and just pull this forward. Pry up on it. Get your hands up underneath, kind of work your way around. And then one clip and the whole piece comes out. This is the radio, and it is not attached to the screen. This box, this silver box, that's the radio. The screen is totally separate. It has nothing to do with this silver box. The plug you want is located here, and it's butt up against this air conditioning that is located here, so you can't just easily remove it, which kind of sucks. To get it out, we have to remove this top metal bracket first. There's these two 7mm here and two 7mm here. Then this bracket will come out. Then located down below these are 4 more 7mm that are actually holding this. That's why you need the long extension. This just lifts out of place. When you get the 4 screws out, just lift up and move it around until you expose. The black harness here is the one you're looking for. There is a clip located on the top side of it. We're looking at the bottom right here, and it'll just pull right out. Prep this harness for the install. I like to remove tape that they have on here. If you're doing an install and they have a center channel, this is the center channel wire. It says it on here, center channel wire. There's a couple different applications that this harness can also be used for than just this, and you may need to have access to that wire. For example, if you buy the iData A to B harness, it does not come with this harness in the box to grab the dash and rear door speakers and also the center channel. I grab this to do that. First thing is tape up the main section here. I like to insulate each pair of wires individually. I'm not going to be using the rears. Those can get plugged in. We're not going to be using the power and ground. I like to add a zip tie, hold that in place. Now this is ready to get back into the car. I want to get that portion of the car back together as quick as possible so that I don't forget it. It's not apart for any extended period of time. These top pieces here will be accessible once that is all put back together with the exception of the top. I'll show you what I mean. Come with me back into the car. And the wire I need right here comes from the radio, and this one goes out to the speakers. I have all this room to bring my bundle into, and this is all put back together and plugged back in. For running our tweeter wires into the dash, we've used these, we just call them fish, they're just big zip ties, and it snakes across the dash and it comes up over here. In this particular vehicle, there is some cotton jammed into the corner of the dash for noise suppression, so you just got to pull it out and then we'll stuff it back in when we're done. We've done the same on the passenger side. The problem on the passenger side is that there's an airbag here, so there's no way to go that way. The glove box easily comes out. There's 2 clips on either side, and we've run the wire down, we'll run it across, and we'll run it up. Because we've already got the radio mounted back in place, make sure you snake the wiring under that metal bracket that we took out earlier. You don't want it to sit on top of it. It'll get in the way of the tray, and if you forget to do it now, then you just got to pull it all back apart. Now that we have the wire in the corner, we can stuff this cotton back into the dash. And also make sure that you add a zip tie or some form of connector here to your wire so that it doesn't fall back down in the dash. Plug the new A-pillar wiring in. Carefully line this back up. That's one done. We just need to put our 10mm back in. But before we do that, I want to hop in on the other side. That way I only have to grab the drill once. This one is going to pull down into the glove box, and then since it's attached to the fish, we'll put it back up the other side. And of course we need to zip tie it into place. On the side of the glove box here, those clips I was talking about, there's one on either side, and it just slips into these. And that's it. Now I can put back in to 10mm. When you're putting the handle cover back on, start at the top and work your way to the bottom, making sure to line it back up as you go. That's it, tweeters are in.